Heading into this wild card game between the Titans and the Chiefs, there was a lot of buzz about this potentially being Mike Mularkey's last game as the coach for the Titans. He's in his third season, the thought being that Mariota hadn't progressed very well this year, which was true, and that maybe the organization was ready to move on to somebody else. But then the funny thing happens along the way. The Tennessee Titans, who were one game away from firing their head coach, go into Arrowhead and beat the Chiefs 22-21. What the hell did I just witness? So I think it is a fair question to ask at this particular point in time. If Mike Mularkey's job was at stake after taking the Titans to the playoffs, why isn't Andy Reid's job at stake now? And I know some of the Chiefs fanboys and girls are going to talk about Andy Reid has been a godsend for this team. And I get it. 53-27 in 5 years in Kansas City. Nothing to sneeze at. 4 10-plus win seasons. 4 trips to the playoffs in 5 years. 2 straight divisional titles. And skipped and whoop-de-woo and all that other crap. But again, if Mike Mularkey's job was at stake with that mediocre Titans team that he helped guide to the playoffs this year, how come Andy Reid, with a team that was supposedly a Super Bowl contender again and came up way short again, how the hell is his job not on the line? How are there not serious questions about his future in Kansas City? Because as Chiefs fans should be learning by now, you're realizing who the real Andy Reid is. And no matter how much you try to spin it, no matter how much you try to deny it, you can't change history. And the honest truth is that Andy Reid has a Schottenheimer style of choke jobs in the playoffs. Look back at his time in Philly. People talk about, well, he took a team in Philadelphia to 5 NFC championship games. Yeah, he lost 4 of them. That means he made it to the Super Bowl once. So that means 5 times he rounded third base and maybe got to the clitoris, but only once was there actually any type of penetration, and that one time he actually got some pumping going on. He ultimately didn't bust a nut, finish the job, and make a baby, because ultimately that's what it's about, legacies. He has no legacy of winning a championship the one time he got there. He has a history of choking and leading his teams in choking situations. And you see this playing out in Kansas City over the course of 5 seasons, 4 playoff trips. This team has won 1 playoff game. They are 1-4 under Andy Reid, which includes, need I remind everybody, a 28-point lead that was choked away in that 2013 season to freaking Chuck Pagano and Andrew Luck, for Christ's sakes. A 28-point lead in the third quarter. So everybody wants to talk about this is some big revelation and this is dramatic what happened. This is even the worst Andy Reid choke job in the playoffs during his time in Kansas City. You look back to last season. Get the first round bye. You got the Steelers coming in. You hold them out of the end zone and you can't beat the freaking Steelers. You lose again, which is the Chiefs' history post Hank Stram, is get a first round bye, host a playoff game, and then lose that bitch. And when you talk about that one playoff win, that's nothing to brag about. That was against Bill O'Brien and the Houston Texans, who was their starting quarterback that day, Brian Flippin' Hoyer. So when you think about Andy Reid and his career in the playoffs specifically, not the regular season where he has been very good, even though his time management and his game management has always been atrocious, he somehow, in spite of that, finds a way to get a lot of double-digit win seasons out of his team. So obviously he hasn't prepared somehow. He hasn't motivated somehow. But when it comes to the playoffs, it is that's what it's all about. And then you got this, what we just witnessed. His team pissed away a 21-3 lead at home to a mediocre Tennessee Titans team. Pissed it straight down their freaking legs. They allowed Derrick Henry to run roughshod over them. They failed to adjust to what the Titans were doing in the second half offensively. Somehow they found a way to only get Kareem Hunt 11 carries in the whole damn game because you wanted to put the ball in Alex Smith's hands and you think that's a formula for success. What the hell are you doing? And look at the Chiefs' offense in the second half. 3 and out. 3-and-out. Now, mind you, in between that, you had a muffed punt that Kansas City recovered, then another 3-and-out, which led to a missed field goal, because why would you be able to move the ball any closer to get your field goal kicker an easier kick? 1 first down and then a punt, and then a turnover on downs. That was the entirety of the Chiefs' offense in the second half, with a 21-3 lead at the beginning of that son of a bitch. Meanwhile, the Tennessee Titans in the second half. Touchdown, 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 run-out clock. Those were their 4 drives. And here come the excuses. Travis Kelce got hurt. He's their best playmaker on offense. Bullshit! You still have Tyreek Hill. You still have Kareem Hunt. Give the damn ball to Kareem Hunt and work off of him on some play action and get the ball in Tyreek Hill's hands. You still had enough with a 21-3 lead to find a way to squeak out a damn victory. All this, they got to the playoffs again. This is the 4th time in 5 years. You know what? When you trade 2 second-round picks to get a mediocre game-managing, never-going-to-be franchise quarterback like Alex Smith, you do that with the expectation that your team is going to do more than just make the wild card round every year. You do that because you think you have enough formula, enough other pieces in place that you should be able to get to the Super Bowl. And at least for Andy Reid in Philadelphia, he made it to 5 NFC championship games. So at least 5 times he got to the clitoris. He can't get to the clitoris in Kansas City. He's barely getting to second base and touching some damn boobs. He's barely getting damn playoff boobs here. And you want to sit there and continue to make excuses for this guy? And then the whole Marvin Lewis defense, and you know this crap is coming. What were they before they got there? I'll tell you what they were before he got there. A small market, irrelevant franchise that more often than not, when they got in the playoffs, choked their first go-round. Oh, ding dong, dumb dicks, that's exactly what the hell they are now. What the hell is the difference? The answer is nothing. And sure, you can sit there and try and use that excuse of, you shouldn't just be in the habit of firing the coach to fire a coach. Well, hell, I look at the Broncos in your same division a couple of years ago. John Fox had taken that team to the playoffs a couple of different times, including once, you remember, in 2011 with Tim freaking Tebow. But what did they do? They sent Fox's ass packing because they knew he freaking sucked and the game had passed him by, and watched as they conned Chicago into hiring him to suck for 3 damn years. Gary Kubiak comes in and they won the Super Bowl his first season. With what you've seen with Andy Reid, do you really want him to sit there and develop Patrick Mahomes over the next several years and potentially hold him back and keep him from achieving his full potential? Do you really think at any point in time that Andy Reid is going to do anything other than to continue to lose wild card round games? Is that why you're paying him big money? Is that why you continue to have a coach? Is that the ceiling of your expectations as Chiefs fans? And you know what? Based off of your history of the past 47 or so damn seasons, it might as well freaking be. So if that's the case, then be happy with him. But other than that, there has to be a point in time where you ask yourself, how many times can you underachieve? How many times can you underperform and underproduce when it matters the most before you look at the guy in charge and you say, maybe it's time for a change?